Speaker of the House, little pipsqueak Moses Mike Johnson was confronted in the halls of Congress by my new hero of the week, Congresswoman Madeline Dean. Watch this clip, and then we're going to analyze it frame by frame. Play the clip.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing? A lot of folks on your side are too. I don't control. Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that I didn't see it. Is so dangerous. You know I serve on foreign affairs and appropriations. Yes. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing. I just left. You have a president who is unwell.
Okay. First and foremost, he did not stand up for kinks. He did not say, no, he's not unhinged. He's so great. He's so smart. He's everybody's talking about it. America's on fire because of his leadership. He agreed with her. And he said, oh, there's people on your side that are unhinged too. And his body language, he knows, which is so much worse than just being in the cult. Because people that are in the cult are completely brainwashed. That right there shows me he knows exactly what he's doing. And he's doing it on purpose, and that he is just a little lapdog. A little Pomeranian, no disrespect to Pomeranians, but I'm talking about a fluffy one with lots of bows in its hair and a little sweater and little booties that just sits in Trump's lap. And that's what Moses Mike Johnson is. He just showed everybody how spineless and how cowardice, and they all know what a nut he is. They all know he's unhinged, and he could not defend the man that he has debased himself for, and that he humiliates his religion for.
Here's the deal about Mike Johnson. He sits there and says, oh, I'm an accountability partner with my teenager about porn. And he will not hold the president of the United States accountable. He fucked over his constituents with the big, beautiful bill, up to 40% of his district. And now he is saying, I don't give a shit about democracy because I want to put my lips on Trump's ass, even though I know he's fucking nuts. And it's sad because he is third in line to the presidency. This weak, little, impotent man. It's gross.
And then she talked to him about the generals, and that just in any other world, in any other democracy, in any other version of the United States of America, what happened with the generals would be impeachable. And it would cause for the firing of Hegseth. But because he DM'd and copied a journalist and his wife on war plans with emojis and all this bullshit, and they didn't impeach him there. The fix is in. The fix is in. They are all in on consolidating power to this man so that when biology takes care of him, all of the power will be in the executive, and it will be transferred to the failed drag queen, Little Smokey. But he said when she confronted him on the generals, I haven't seen it. And you can tell he lied because one of the tells when people lie is they kind of avert their gaze.
Yep.
And he averted the gaze. So Kylie, I want you to play that again. And because we are armchair psychiatrists and psychologists and the government shut down, and we need to do everything we can do to expose these fake Christian cowardice losers, DL demon queens. Number one, I want to play it again. I want you to notice how he's lying. I want you to notice what a cowardice he is. And I want you to notice how DL gay he is. I want you to notice it. Play it again.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing? A lot of folks on your side are too. I don't control. Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that I didn't see it. Is so dangerous.
Did you see that? Yeah, he's lying. Okay, I mean, that is just a classic liar. All right, here is real leadership, you guys. Here is real leadership. It is the man who is catapulting to being my favorite male politician at the moment, aside from Bernie Sanders and a few others. And it is none other than Chicago, Illinois boss, Governor J.B. Pritzker. Play the clip.
Years that Donald Trump, not only has dementia set in, but he's copying tactics of Vladimir Putin, sending troops into cities, thinking that that's some sort of proving ground for war, or that indeed there's some sort of internal war going on in the United States.
Okay.
Is just
Right there, he says it. Dementia is setting in. He's copying the tactics of dictator Vladimir Putin. He's declaring war on America. He says it very clear. Why Hakeem Jeffries and Chuckles are not screaming from the rooftops. When they walked out of the Oval Office, they should have said, this man has dementia. We need a 25th Amendment. Every single one of our Republican colleagues are in on the cover up. They should be barnstorming the airwaves. Instead, I saw an interview where Jake Tapper asked Hakeem, so are you talking about his mental acuity? And Jeffries goes, no, I'm talking about the sombrero, blah, blah, blah. It is such an L. It is such a miss. And it is so frustrating seeing Hakeem and Chuckles just fumble the bag multiple times a day, all day, every day. When J.B. Pritzker, and then put up Gavin Newsom right here. Gavin Newsom tweets, Trump, quote, Marie Antoinette says, no health care for you peasants, but a ballroom for the queen. And they have a Photoshop, for those of you that are listening, a Photoshopped image of Kanks as Marie Antoinette. And he looks like the Pomeranian that I described earlier with all the bows on. And this is the way forward. Like, these people are not serious people. They are blaring this sombrero thing everywhere because they think, oh yeah, we're dunking on Hakeem and Chuckles. And you know what? It's somewhat effective because Hakeem and Chuckles cannot come out of meetings and say, we've got a 911 house is on fire. This guy has dementia. He is a fascist. He is behaving like a Nazi. They're trying to be the thought police and he's declaring war on America. This is insanity. We need to get him out of office. What the fuck's going on with you, Senator Thune? Or Thune, however you say his name. Why are you complicit in the cover-up of this man's mental decline? Why are you allowing these South African-born and German-born and Australian-born billionaires to decide that American democracy is not enough for the American people anymore, and they get to rip up the Constitution? Why the fuck are you not doing that, Hakeem and Chuckles? Why?
I completely agree. And I saw an interview with Chuckles yesterday and he was like, I'm really hoping. I'm like, Chuck, stop fucking hoping. There is no hope. You cannot shame the shameless. They like taking people's health care away. They think that's a good thing. And it is such a failure in leadership that the governors and mayors are taking a more active stance about U.S. military in the cities of America than the federal leaders. It's absolutely the most disappointing example of poor leadership. It's unreal. We're not calling this out. And I'm like you, every time you walk out of the Oval Office, this man has dementia. This man cannot be possibly making decisions for the country because he doesn't know what's going on. But they don't.
Right. And they can also paint the picture is he is so demented, it leads us to the question as to who's calling the shots. And then that opens up the door for the Peter Thiels and the Elon Musk who get all of these corporate welfare handouts. So while you don't have taxpayer money, people in rural America, Elizabeth Warren, the people you think are satanic and horrible, and Bernie and AOC, they're actually fighting for you, while Kanks is taking it all away from you, using your faith to make you think he's in your corner, while he trots out another person who weaponizes his faith, the leader of the DL Demon Queens, little pipsqueak Moses Mike Johnson. These guys put on a profile in cowardice all day, every day. In the Democratic leadership, Chuckles and Hakeem, you either start calling it out, call them fascists, call out his dementia, say they are behaving like Nazis all day, every day, or sit down and shut the fuck up and pass the torch to somebody with a spine, because we've had it. And then finally, I want to leave you all, and please do not exit out of this. This is an important video. It's 2 minutes long, of some of our best messengers in the Democratic Party. And it is Senator Sanders and Congresswoman AOC. And they don't have to change their positions depending on the voter cycle. They always fight for the people who are voiceless. This is courage. This is leadership. Watch how fabulous this messaging is right here.
Everybody, I was walking here in Washington, D.C., and who did I bump into? one of my favorite members of the United States Congress, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
And one of my favorite senators.
All right. Anyhow, as everybody knows, we are now in a government shutdown. Republicans are attacking Alexandria, attacking me. Why didn't you vote for this clean CR to keep the government open?
Well, there's nothing clean about it. This is one of the dirtiest tricks that is being pulled on the American people right now. Starting today, October 1st, and throughout the rest of the month, Americans across this country are going to start getting notifications that their insurance premiums are up to doubling. We're talking about—
Say that again.
Your insurance, your monthly insurance premiums are going to double for millions of people across the country.
At a time when we are already paying, by far, the highest prices in the world for healthcare, at a time when people can't afford it right now. So what happens?
That means people getting bankrupt over chemotherapy, people going to the pharmacy and not being able to get their insulin. And frankly, it means a lot of Americans are going to be in danger. And Republicans want us to rubber stamp that. So what are we going to say to that, Bernie?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not only be in danger. Let's be clear. And it doesn't make me happy to have to say this, but there have been studies out there that when you combine doubling premiums for the ACA and then throwing 15 million people off of Medicaid and the ACA, the result is, according to studies at Yale and the University of Pennsylvania, 50,000 low-income, working-class Americans will die every single year. All right? If you don't have the money to go to a doctor and you're sick, you die. And that's what we're looking at. That's what this clean bill is about.
And so Republicans want us to rubber stamp that. And we're saying no. We need to stand up for the American people. We need to stand up for our healthcare system. And if they want our votes, they need to make sure that we're protecting every American and making sure that we can do what we can to continue to make healthcare accessible, affordable, as we work to make it a human right for all.
Right. So let me just back that up. Remember, right now, our healthcare system is broken. Right now, we're the only major country on earth not to guarantee healthcare to all people. And these guys want to make it even worse. We're not going to let that happen.
No, we're not.
Thank you.
Onward.
That is such fantastic messaging. And I would even dare say, Hakeem, Chuckles, step down and let these two take over. Let people that aren't beholden and to corporate interests, and let people that have the political skill and the ability to message move forward in this very decisive moment. Because what they're saying right here to all of the MAGA voters that they're fighting for is, we know you hate us. We know you think we're evil, but we don't want you to die. We don't want you to go bankrupt because you have cancer. We know that you think that Moses Mike and Trump and Lil Smokey are all Christians that care about you, but they don't. These are very serious things. They care more about bailing out Argentina to the tune of $20 billion. The government shutting down, but guess what? We're funding Argentinians to have health care because they tried the Musk, Trump, and economic plan of austerity, and it face planted spectacularly in less than 2 years. Meanwhile, guess what else we won't stop funding? Bombs to Israel so that they can kill Palestinian children and civilians. We also will be funding them so that they can propagandize on our airwaves pro-Zionist messaging and block the reporting of genocide that is happening. But don't worry, Israel will be able to pay those influencers $7,000 a post. $7,000 a post that Americans are going to pay the government of Israel to a war criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu. But guess what? Tough titties, you can't have health care. And what's so mind-bending about this entire thing is the people right now that are supporters of Trump and say they're big Christians are technically supposed to be more aligned with the messaging of Bernie and AOC right now. But they're so propagandized and they're so primed to bite into cruelty all day, every day. And we have to do multiple things at a time. We have to call out the dementia of Kanks, the nefarious, evil intentions of the psychopath, failed drag queen, Lil Smokey J.D. Vance, and then all of his connections in the oligarch world are terrifying. We need to call out the fact that Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and Rupert Murdoch, who weren't even born in this goddamn country, come over here, make billions of dollars, and they've decided they don't think Americans should have democracy anymore and that they should be served up lies all day, every day. We need to start messaging that MAGA is Israel first and Argentina first and doesn't give a fuck about Americans out working paycheck to paycheck. So Chuckles and Hakeem, do everybody a favor and either step up or step aside, because we don't want to lose our country. And more importantly, even though everybody on the right hates people like us, I don't want them to die. I want them to be able to access health care, because I, the atheist, am a much bigger Christian than any evangelical I've ever met in my entire life. All right, buy our book. Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches is a great way to support us. Fight for democracy. Message Hakeem and Chuckles. And let's try to right this ship, because they are not as popular as they think they are. And they're not as popular as they keep promoting. Kanks is underwater like you wouldn't believe, with an anchor just pulling him down. All right, subscribe. We'll see you later.